Morning, everybody.
Welcome to Steve and Audra's Van Cafe. We're cooking up pancakes here at a rest area in Fort Collins, Colorado. I'll do a little guy.
Is that one for the cat?
Yeah.
So last night we did something different. We stopped at a rest area and pulled in amongst all the trucks and RVs. A lot of people running their generators. Of course, the big trucks running their generators. So it was a bit noisy, but it wasn't too bad. It's kind of like white noise,
Yeah, if it's
for the most part.
If it's gonna be noisy, I would take that because it's consistent at least. And then we run our fan anyway, so I didn't notice anything overnight. We're using up some of our delicious blueberries from Canada that our van life friends Jamie and Lisa from Gertie A. Vandergroot gave us. I'll make for some tasty pancakes this morning. There you go.
Thank you very much.
All right, so we got some good eats this morning. And then later today, guess what we're doing? We're gonna meet up with some other friends that have a YouTube channel and we're gonna do some sightseeing here in Fort Collins. We're excited and looking forward to it. Breakfast was good, now it's time to clean up.
One of the ways we conserve water and keep our gray water tank from being all nasty and smelly is to try to wipe out our bowls with paper towel as best we can before we wash them. Just makes the whole process a little bit easier. Although this pancake batter is a champion of stickiness.
Well, it started to dry already. Rub-a-dub-dub.
So this is a unique setup for a library. It's part of a business complex.
Before meeting up with our friends, we had to get some work done at the library. Alright, so we're ready to do our hike here, Arthur's Rock, is that correct? It is. At Lory State Park outside of Fort Collins, Colorado. And we are here with friends Joyce and Daryle, who we've mentioned on our channel before. Their channel is Learning to Travel. They're from this area and they're gonna take us on this hike today. They said it's about 3 miles round trip and they also said it's a little steep, so we'll probably feel it afterwards. Just as we started our hike, we got word that there'd been a hiking accident not far from the start of the trail. Joyce, a member of the local search and rescue team, headed up the trail to see if she could be of assistance before other emergency responders could get up there. We discovered that an older woman had fallen and hit her head on a rock while descending the trail and had become unconscious. We waited on the trail, allowing emergency personnel to get the woman stabilized and transport her out of the area. This was a good reminder to use caution when out in the elements, and we also think it's a good lesson to hike with a buddy, if you can. You never know what might happen when out in nature. Thankfully, this was a well-traveled trail, and other hikers quickly came to the woman's aid to get her help. We were very relieved to find out her condition was stable after the incident. After such a crazy, unexpected start to our time with Joyce and Daryle, the trail was finally cleared to get started on our hike. A relatively short and moderate hike with spectacular views, Arthur's Rock Trail, located within Lory State Park just outside of Fort Collins, is a relatively short and moderate hike with spectacular views. It's one of the most popular hikes in the area, and for good reason. It's 3.4 miles out and back with an elevation gain of 1,100 feet, with its highest point at approximately 6,800 feet. The clearly defined trail takes you through grassy fields, pine forest, and lots of boulders. There are beautiful views as you traverse the many switchbacks. Oh, it's absolutely beautiful out here. It's amazing how the landscape changes just after driving a couple hours from one place to another. It's beautiful.
What do you think?
Awesome, I love it. Steve and I were so glad to finally be able to meet up with Joyce and Daryle to spend some time in nature with them. They share a love for travel and are pretty good at it. Between the two of them, they have traveled to over 25 countries in all 50 states and have some quite amazing experiences. They create excellent travel videos on their Learning to Travel YouTube channel and share helpful information on their travel blog with the goal of helping others identify and realize their dream trips. Check out this view behind us. Isn't that incredible? I kind of feel like I'm in The Sound of Music. The hills are alive. Yeah, that's a little bit of a workout getting up here.
Yeah, I realize you guys can't hear this, but my heart is about ready to jump out of my chest.
Which way? We'll go towards Joyce and Daryle.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna check out the outlook here and then keep going up to the summit. Not a bad view. And maybe it would have connected back toward, but when we got up, it didn't look like it would have. Like, we didn't see it again when we. We reached the summit, and wow, was the view incredible. The summit provided views of Horsetooth Reservoir in the city of Fort Collins. On a clear day, you might get lucky enough to get a view of the entire Front Range all the way to Pikes Peak. Oh, come on. You can do it.
Almost got it. I felt it move.
Did you really?
We're only joking.
If people want to know more about this hike, what would you guys say about it since you're locals?
Well, it's a common thing to take out of towners, I would say. We get a lot of visitors. For one, it's really close to town, so it's easy to get to, and it's a fairly short hike, even though it is steep.
I don't know if we said that how long it was. It's about 3 miles round trip, and it's just a really nice view of town. You can see a lot of the landmarks in town, and you see like out east to the sort of the flat part of Colorado, but you're in the foothills at the beginning of the mountains, and you can see the reservoir, all the boats down there. It's just a really pretty spot. I have always thought that it would be a great place to watch the sunrise. I'd highly recommend trying that, but I haven't done it yet. So,
And how much is it to get into the park?
$10 a car.
$10 a car.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you have the park pass, right? The state park pass?
Yes. Yep, the state park, yep.
So it's not a free hike like we like, but not too bad. And we didn't have to pay because Joyce and Daryle have the state park pass.
Side note, you're only allowed 3 people in the car, so they put me in the trunk to sneak me in.
We made it to the top, and now we have to go back down because we don't have a hang glider. The going down is definitely a lot easier. After wrapping up our hike with Joyce and Daryle, next up was a travel back in time. While researching things to do in the Fort Collins area, we ran across an 80s themed pizza joint that combined a restaurant and museum in one. Of course we were going to add that to our list. So after working up a good appetite and getting cleaned up, we headed that way. The owner of Totally 80s Pizza spent years tracking down and collecting items for the museum. After the cafe opened, 80s celebrities started sending photos and other memorabilia to add to the collection. According to the website, it's now the world's largest collection of 1980s pop culture memorabilia. Having grown up in the 80s, this was a really fun walk down memory lane. What a treasure trove. If you were a child or teen in the 80s, we'd love to know, what were some of your best pop culture memories? Let us know in the comments. So if you go to Fort Collins, you have to go to Totally 80s for pizza. The restaurant's website says, come in, order at the counter, sit back, and enjoy some fantastically cheesy 80s music videos and some even cheesier pizza. That's just what we did.
$112,000 and change. Nothing compared to the high score. Joyce is gonna see if she can beat my high score in Miss Pac-Man. I don't think so.
Joyce's turn to play some Miss Pac-Man.
All right. So how'd we do?
Bad?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you beat my score?
No, I did not. I did not beat your score.
The next morning, after mooch docking in front of Joyce and Daryle's house, they took us out to show us around the downtown Fort Collins area. Morning coffee. Got your morning Java juice.
Go juice.
Your go juice. Fort Collins has a well-preserved downtown district that includes over 20 restored historical buildings that are part of both national and local designated historic districts. Daryle shared a fun fact with us as we walked around the Old Town section of Fort Collins. The creator of Disney's Main Street USA grew up in Fort Collins and used many of the historic Old Town buildings as inspiration and models when designing the popular tourist attraction. Joyce and Daryle know how much I love botanical gardens, so they took us to the Colorado State University's annual flower trial garden. The garden showcases over 1,000 different cultivated varieties of annuals and is free to visit. This outdoor display was established to allow students, researchers, industry representatives, homeowners, and extension personnel to learn, teach, and evaluate how plants grow in the unique environmental conditions of the Rocky Mountain High Plains region. So we've been seeing a lot of the sites in Fort Collins, and we didn't have a lot of time left today, but Joyce and Daryle recommended that we come to the Botanical Gardens here because of the butterfly house. We don't have a lot of time, so we're just going to get a quick little peek and hope to see some butterflies. Fun. It really was quick. We got there about 45 minutes before closing, and that's the last time that they let anybody into the butterfly house, and I think we only had, like 10 minutes, maybe 15, but I don't think even that much. So it was fun. It was fun seeing a few different butterflies, seeing them a little flitting around in there. A little short and sweet visit.
At first they weren't going to let us in, but Audra batted her pretty green eyes at them, and they let her in. So I'm just doing some van chores. Right now it's cleaning the Max Air fan. It is amazing how dirty these things get. Yuck.
guess we're calling it a night at the library. It's like 8:15. I closed out the library and then finished doing work outside on the bench so I could still have Wi-Fi. While I was in the library, Steve came out and made dinner tonight. A very simple meal because we didn't have much time, so we're just having soup out of a can. It was a crazy work day, and sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do. We've certainly had some long days since we've been on the road. This week has been especially challenging because we've had more computer problems and we have a lot of work to do, so it's been a little stressful. I also injured my knee somehow, either exercising at Planet Fitness or hiking or a combination thereof, so I've had to kind of take it easy a little bit. Otherwise, I think things are going pretty well. We're just trying to learn how to balance everything and not to get too stressed out with some of the issues we've been having.
Outside of these issues, we've really had a nice time in Fort Collins, Colorado, and want to say a special thanks to Joyce and Daryle for their hospitality and showing us around. We really appreciate that.
We certainly appreciate the friends and people we meet that are opening their homes to us and giving us a little bit of hospitality. It was nice this week to reset a little bit with Joyce and Daryle. We were able to get some showers and not worry about flip-flops like we do at Planet Fitness, and to refill our water and some other things we needed to do. Also, they shared some of their produce from their garden, which is very nice. Some tomatoes and squash that they grew. And our other friends that we had met when we were in Cheyenne, Jen and Jeff and her parents, they shared what's really popular here in this area, Palisade peach. So we've had a few of those and they are delicious. The last thing I want to mention is that Joyce and Daryle have traveled quite a bit. They've got some great videos up on their channel, and Joyce has also written this book, which she gave to us. And if anyone's interested about some interesting travels overseas, I'll put the link in the description to her book, so check that out. So that's it for this time. We are going to be moving on to a new spot, so make sure to tune in next time. As always, we like when you leave a comment, let us know you're watching, let us know what you'd like to see in the future, hit that like button. We really appreciate those of you who are really loyal and just follow along every week. We appreciate the people that are new to the channel and those of us that support us on Patreon. So thank you guys. We'll see you next time.
You go for a walk? Huh? You go for a walk, puppy? Go out to the grass, baby, huh? Go out to the grass. You good girl. You good girl, huh?
Thanks again to our patrons, and a special thanks to our newest Patreon member, Vasil, for joining our tribe and supporting our channel. We appreciate you all so much. Don't forget to check out Joyce and Daryle's Learning to Travel YouTube channel. If you haven't had enough travel fun for today, click one of the links below to see more. Thanks for watching. We hope to see you next time.